14. Elegant habits for a classy lifestyle. So many women feel unseen, not for lack of beauty or wisdom, but because life's pace pulls them into routines that feel heavy and rushed. Elegance has little to do with appearance alone. It shows in the way your daily choices reflect calm, dignity, and intention. Today, you'll explore 14 timeless habits that elevate not just how others see you, but how deeply you value yourself. Habit 1. Practicing elegance in the way you close doors. You might not realize it, but the way you close a door tells a story about you. A slammed car door, a cabinet shut with force, or an office door left echoing down the hallway. These moments give off tension, even when you don't intend them to. Now contrast that with gently pressing a car door closed, sliding a cabinet with care, or easing your office door shut behind you. The difference feels immediate. Grace isn't loud. It's intentional. When you move through spaces with quiet control, you project calmness and respect, both for yourself and for those around you. This habit signals confidence without a single word. It says you're not rushing through life, but moving with purpose. Practicing elegance here isn't about perfection. It's about showing through even the smallest actions that you choose peace over chaos. And yes, people notice, starting with you. Habit 2. Speaking only once you've chosen the right words. There's a quiet strength in waiting before you speak. In meetings, during disagreements, or even at the dinner table with family, restraint shows you value clarity over noise. Silence isn't empty, it carries weight. According to a study published in the Journal of Communication, pauses before responding often increase how credible and thoughtful a person is perceived to be. Think of those moments when someone rushes to fill the air, their words spilling without intention. Now compare it to someone who listens fully, takes a breath, and then responds with precision. The difference is striking. You don't just hear their words, you feel their presence. Choosing to pause doesn't weaken your voice, it strengthens it. This habit communicates self-assurance and depth, reminding both you and others that your words matter and they're worth waiting for. In a world that rushes, your calm deliberation becomes magnetic. Habit 3. Creating order in how you enter and exit spaces. The way you move into or out of a space leaves an impression long before words do. Rushing through a doorway, juggling bags, or appearing distracted signals chaos, even if you don't mean it. Instead, imagine pausing for one breath before stepping in. Lift your posture, settle your shoulders, and let your pace be steady. That tiny adjustment transforms how you're perceived and how you feel. Exiting deserves the same care. Avoid darting out mid-conversation or leaving in a flurry of noise. Think of transitions as moments of punctuation in your day, where your actions set the tone for what comes next. Researchers in body language studies note that calm, deliberate movements often inspire greater trust and attentiveness from others. By entering and leaving spaces with intention, you create an atmosphere of order and self-respect. This isn't about performance. It's about bringing grace into the unnoticed details of everyday life. Habit 4. Maintaining grace when technology fails. We've all faced it. Your phone freezes right when you need it, Wi-Fi cuts out mid-meeting, or a presentation stalls in front of a room full of people. The instinct is frustration. Sighs, muttered words, frantic tapping. Yet these reactions only magnify stress. Now think of the alternative: pausing, smiling, and calmly addressing the situation. This shift doesn't just ease your own nerves, it reassures everyone watching. Studies on emotional regulation from the American Psychological Association show that people who respond with composure under stress are viewed as more capable and trustworthy. In these moments, technology might falter, but your poise doesn't. Taking a breath before troubleshooting or lightly acknowledging the glitch turns an inconvenience into proof of your steadiness. Grace under pressure communicates authority without force. And the truth is, people rarely remember the failure. They remember how you handled it. That calmness becomes your signature. Habit 5. Choosing intentional pauses before answering questions. When someone asks you a question, whether it's in a job interview, a child's curious moment, or even casual conversation, the pause before your answer carries power. It shows you've heard, processed, and chosen your words with care. That space creates clarity, reducing the chance of misunderstanding. Leaders across fields use silence strategically. It signals authority and presence. Think about it. When you rush to respond, your words often serve the pressure of speed, not the weight of meaning. But when you allow a heartbeat of quiet, your response lands differently, measured, thoughtful, and trustworthy. Communication research from Harvard Business Review notes that strategic pauses not only enhance clarity, but also increase how confident a speaker appears. By practicing this habit, you're not just answering questions, you're shaping how others experience your presence. Pausing isn't hesitation, it's intentional depth, reminding others that your voice is steady and deliberate. Habit 6. Honoring your belongings through gentle handling. The way you handle your belongings says a lot about how you see yourself. Tossing a handbag onto a chair, dropping shoes by the door, or carelessly setting down glassware often happens without thought. Yet when you place your bag softly, fold your coat neatly, or set a glass down with care, you're practicing a form of self-respect. It's not about fussiness. It's about recognizing value. Many items you own required skilled craftsmanship and resources to create. Treating them gently reflects gratitude, and it naturally extends into sustainability. According to research from the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, extending the life of everyday items through care significantly reduces waste and environmental impact. More importantly, this habit reminds you daily that what you choose to keep deserves dignity. When your hands move with attentiveness, you affirm that both you and your surroundings are worthy of care. That quiet elegance always shows. Habit 7. Keeping boundaries without raising your voice. True strength often shows in the way you protect your boundaries without ever needing to shout. In the workplace, it could mean calmly saying, "I won't be able to take that on right now, but I can suggest another solution." With family, it may sound like, "I hear you, but this is a decision I've made." Among friends, a simple, steady, "that doesn't work for me" can be enough. Calm firmness speaks louder than raised tones. Psychology studies on assertiveness, such as those highlighted by the Mayo Clinic, show that clear, respectful communication reduces conflict and builds healthier relationships. Raising your voice often signals a loss of control, but speaking with evenness communicates authority and self-possession. This habit isn't about being agreeable, it's about being unwavering while staying composed. The message becomes clear. Your boundaries are not negotiable, and your dignity doesn't require volume to be heard. Habit 8. Sitting with composure even when alone. How you carry yourself when no one's watching reveals how deeply you respect yourself. Slouching into a chair while scrolling on your phone or sprawling carelessly across the couch might feel harmless, but over time, it shapes how you see yourself. Now compare that with sitting upright, shoulders open, feet grounded, whether you're reading, waiting for an appointment, or simply enjoying tea at home. That small act reinforces dignity, even in solitude. Research from the University of Auckland found that upright posture can improve mood and increase self-confidence, while slouching often leads to lower energy and negative self-perception. This isn't about rigid perfection. It's about honoring your own presence as worthy of grace. When you sit with composure, even in private, you send yourself the message, "I am someone who matters." That quiet consistency builds an inner confidence that naturally carries into every other space you step into. Habit 9. Practicing restraint in correcting others. Correcting others too quickly can shrink the dignity of a moment. When a child mispronounces a word with excitement, or a colleague shares a detail that isn't fully accurate, constant interruptions can make you appear impatient or controlling. True elegance lies in knowing when correction is necessary and when it can wait. If safety, clarity, or serious consequences are at stake, guidance matters. But in everyday conversation, restraint often shows more wisdom. Communication experts note that selective correction preserves rapport and strengthens trust. You can gently redirect later, in private, or add to the conversation without undermining someone's confidence. For example, "That's one way to see it, and here's another perspective." This approach feels inclusive rather than diminishing. By choosing moments carefully, you demonstrate not just knowledge, but emotional intelligence. Presence isn't about proving you're right. It's about making others feel respected in your company. That restraint is powerful. Habit 10. Using soft authority instead of dominance. Authority doesn't need to be loud or forceful to be effective. In fact, the most trusted leaders often guide with a tone that's gentle yet firm. Managing a team at work, guiding children through choices, or hosting a family gathering, these moments invite you to lead with presence rather than dominance. A steady voice, clear expectations, and consistent follow-through often earn far more respect than raised tones or intimidation. Research from the Journal of Applied Psychology shows that leaders who demonstrate calm authority foster stronger trust and long-term influence compared to those who rely on aggressive tactics. People feel safe, not controlled in their presence. Over time, this style of leadership inspires loyalty and cooperation because it reflects respect for both yourself and others. Soft authority is not weakness, it's the balance of strength and grace. By embodying it, you lead in a way that lasts well beyond the moment. Habit 11. Carrying yourself with consistency across settings. True elegance is steady. It doesn't shift depending on who's watching. The way you speak to a colleague in a boardroom should echo the same respect you show a waiter taking your order. When your tone and manners align across professional, social, and private settings, you communicate integrity. Double standards, kind in public, dismissive in private, erode both trust and self-respect. Consistency isn't about being rigid. It's about holding the same values no matter the setting. Research from Gallup on trust and leadership shows that people place the highest confidence in those whose behavior is predictable and fair. Small acts, thanking service staff, listening attentively to family, or addressing coworkers with equal respect, signal that your character doesn't depend on circumstance. When you live this way, others feel secure in your presence. And more importantly, you feel secure in yourself, knowing that your grace isn't situational, it's genuine. Habit 12. Making eye contact without overholding it. Eye contact is one of the simplest ways to communicate presence, but balance matters. Holding someone's gaze too long can feel intimidating, while avoiding it altogether can seem uncertain or disengaged. The elegance lies in warmth, meeting someone's eyes with sincerity, then naturally looking away as the conversation flows. Psychologists at the University of Cambridge found that comfortable eye contact, around 3 to 5 seconds at a time, is often perceived as most natural. You can practice this in small moments, greeting a cashier, chatting with a neighbor, or speaking during a meeting. Think of eye contact as a bridge, not a spotlight. It connects without overwhelming. By allowing your gaze to rest with ease, you communicate openness and confidence without force. This habit builds trust and makes interactions memorable. And importantly, it reminds both you and others that real connection thrives in balance, not extremes. Habit 13. Letting small acts of generosity stay unannounced. Some of the most beautiful gestures are the ones no one talks about. Picking up something someone dropped without drawing attention, paying for a stranger's coffee and slipping away, or offering a kind word without expecting one in return. These quiet choices shape an inner elegance that validation can't buy. When generosity seeks recognition, it becomes performance. But when it remains private, it strengthens your own sense of character. Research from UC Berkeley's Greater Good Science Center shows that small, unacknowledged acts of kindness increase long-term happiness and self-worth. You don't need applause for being thoughtful. The reward is the calm satisfaction of knowing you've added goodness to someone's day. These moments cultivate grace within, reminding you that your value isn't tied to how visibly you give. True class shines not in what others see, but in the kindness you extend simply because it reflects who you are. Habit 14. Ending conversations with gratitude instead of excuses. The way you close a conversation leaves a lasting impression. Rushed exits or strings of apologies, sorry I have to go, often feel abrupt or dismissive, but ending with gratitude changes everything. Whether it's a workplace discussion, a family call, or a casual chat with a friend, saying, "I've really enjoyed talking with you. Thank you for sharing your time," brings warmth and closure. It's not about adding length, it's about adding sincerity. Communication researchers from the University of Pennsylvania highlight that expressions of gratitude strengthen social bonds and increase mutual respect. This habit elevates even the briefest interactions, reminding the other person that their presence mattered. And it also reinforces your own sense of mindfulness because you're closing the moment with intention rather than haste. When you choose gratitude over excuses, you leave behind not just words, but a feeling, one of grace, respect, and genuine connection. Bonus point: the daily ritual, beginning and ending each day with handwritten reflection. Since you've stayed until the end, I want to share something special, my favorite daily ritual. Each morning and evening, take a few minutes to write by hand. Nothing elaborate, just a reflection, what you hope to bring into the day, and later, what you're grateful for or learned. This quiet act creates clarity and calm, anchoring your mind before the world rushes in. Studies from the University of Texas show that journaling lowers stress and improves overall mental health by helping you process experiences more clearly. When you write, you give form to your thoughts, turning them into intentions you can carry gracefully. At night, the page becomes a place to release worries and invite peace. This ritual doesn't just stand alone, it strengthens every other habit we've discussed. It's personal, sacred, and deeply grounding. By honoring yourself with reflection, you cultivate an inner elegance that radiates into everything you do. If these habits spoke to you, I'd love for you to write grace and details in the comments. It's a way of saying you're part of this circle, women choosing to live with intention, dignity, and calm. Together, we create a community where elegance is not a performance, but a daily practice rooted in authenticity. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If this video spoke to you, a simple like helps the channel grow and reach more women who value living with intention. Subscribe if you'd love daily content that nurtures both elegance and inner strength. And if a friend came to mind while watching, share this with her. It could be the encouragement she needs today. I'm grateful for your presence here. You'll see a recommended video on the screen now. Let it be your next step on this journey. Until then, carry your grace into the moments ahead.